In today's redstone video, we're talking about the dropper. Now, despite his big happy smile, he's often overlooked by his cousin, the dispenser, but there's actually a lot of really cool things you can do with it. Let's get into it. Now, the dropper can be crafted with 7 cobblestone and 1 redstone dust on the very bottom. It can face every direction, though when you face it up or down, the smile is gone and is just replaced with a rectangle. But it still works the same. When you interact with the dropper, you'll be given 9 inventory slots. Here, you can hold 9 inventory slots worth of items. And when the dropper is powered, one of those items are dropped on the ground. And that's how a dropper works. Goodbye, see you later, subscribe. Alright, just kidding. The dropper can do some really cool and amazing stuff that you can't really do too well with anything else. However, it only really shines when used in conjunction with all the other really amazing redstone blocks. So here we have a thing. We got 2 diamond for 1 gold. If we pop a couple diamonds in, then it'll go through the item sorter and come out and give us a gold ingot, which that's pretty cool. Kind of really only useful if you're on a multiplayer world. Say you want to make yourself an item sorter. However, you want to cut costs and not have so much iron for the hoppers here. Well, you can eliminate this entire top row here and replace it with just a water stream. What you can do, you have a little water stream like this that you throw the items down and they get sent all the way, and if they go over the right hopper, pretend there's hoppers down here, then they get sucked in, but if they don't, they go all the way down. Usually that's where the junk chest is. But you're not gonna wanna sit for half an hour and just throw all your stuff into a water stream when you want to clear your inventory. You're gonna wanna put all that stuff in a chest. What you can do to automate the process is get yourself a dropper, behind it place a hopper, and on top of that, place your chest. Next, all you need to do is make yourself a little redstone clock of some kind, pop an on and off switch right next to it, and then when you want to get your stuff in your water stream, just pop all your stuff into a chest, flick off the lever to start the clock, and your stuff will start going through. One good thing to know about the dropper is it's not the best with accuracy, so you might want to get like a roof above it, at least for the first little bit, so that they all go in the right place. And now with this little roof here for the first little bit, we can see they're all staying in the right spot. And here we would have our item sorter underneath, pulling the stuff through, and then we'd be good. But instead, since we don't have an item sorter, we've just got the blob. Say you don't have enough iron for any hoppers at all, well, the dropper can help you there as well. One of the constant pains of mining is constantly having to go back up to the surface if you are low on inventory space. However, with the dropper, we don't even have to deal with any of that. So here we have a dropper and it is facing upwards. However, in its way are glass blocks. This could work with any blocks, including just the solid unmined stone that you find underground. If the diamond shoots out an item, but the item is supposed to go in an area where a block is already there, well, an item doesn't want to be inside of a block, so it finds the quickest path out, which is usually somewhere off to the side. So if we have a block on top of a dropper, we're going to be having diamonds spilling out the side. However, if this is a 3x3 area, kind of like a Rubik's Cube or something, then the diamonds won't be able to go to the side. The only place for them to go is up. And it doesn't matter how far up you go, because the items will always try to go up to the top. And how this works with the mines is you can have something like this down at your base camp in the mines, and you have a system sort of like the last one, where if you put the items in the chest, then that gets fed into the dropper, and the dropper sends those items all the way up to a chest on the surface, where all your stuff is collected nice and neatly for you, and maybe even in your item sorter. The same thing has other uses. Here I have this little mini game I made, where if you place sand in a certain spot, it gets taken and destroyed. that gets collected by a dropper, which at the end of the game, the dropper has all the items, which will dispense this into the water system here, into another dropper, and if this comparator detects that this dropper has stuff in it, it will turn off this torch, turning on this redstone clock here, which will continue to go as long as this dropper has stuff in it. And this dropper is carrying these things through a solid wall of glass and other blocks up to the surface play area where you can collect your sand and continue your game. If you've made it this far in the video, let's have fun with those people who haven't. Comment your favorite type of sand down in the comment section to just confuse everyone who hasn't made it this far to the video. Now, the very last thing I've saved for the end because it is very, very overpowered and amazing. Now, there's this thing in Java edition of Minecraft where, if you notice, the light gray stained glass pane is almost invisible. And if you don't know it's there, you won't see it. So, what we can do, we can find ourselves a nice little cave area where we know people are going to be going through at least once. Dig a couple blocks into the ground, place ourselves a dropper, place your, where was it? Oh, there it is. Place your light gray stained glass pane somewhere in the dropper, and then go ahead, cover it up with a block, pop a stone pressure plate on top of that block, and if someone is just wandering around in the dark, step over it, a light gray stained glass pane will appear in their inventory. Now, it kind of looks a little obvious in the hotbar, but in the actual inventory thing, you probably couldn't guess which slot it's in. It's this one. But this is a really fun prank for a friend. If they accidentally step on your pressure plate, then one of their inventory slots won't work. And that is all for this video on the happiest redstone block in the world. The only question being, why is he so happy? Well, it's because he just threw a surprise birthday party for his friend the dispenser, who we'll be talking about in the next video, so make sure you're subscribed for this one because it's going to be fun. I'll see you there.